she has not paid the proper amount of rent, and that's why we're doing the eviction.
I get talked crazy too, talked about right in front of my face. It's just all about money, and I just feel like that's not fair.
When was the last time she had a zero balance? Today we are here for an eviction suit. Whereas as plaintiff, I have Bill Goring with Goring Holdings versus Erica McVeigh. Before we get started, I just need to confirm, Mr. Goring, are you the owner of the property or are you just a management company?
I'm not the sole owner. I've got ownership interests. The family Goring Holdings owns the property, and I'm the general principal.
Okay.
GP.
All right. Okay. Without further ado, Mr. Goring, you may present your case.
Thank you, Your Honor. Miss McVeigh's been in the property since October of 20. I believe I already provided the court the original lease and subsequent amendments, last dated May 28th of 24. She has not lived up to these leases. And as a result, she has not paid the proper amount of rent, and that's why we're doing the eviction. And we've been pretty helpful with her over the years, and even went ahead and put a ramp in for her son at no charge not long ago, but had that done. But in any event, yeah, she's in default. She has not honored our agreement.
Okay. And so, based on what you filed with the court and your testimony, you have a written lease agreement with the tenant. What are the terms of that lease? How much is she required to pay rent per month?
It originally was $750 a month, and that was, as I said, in 2020, and thereafter we did an extension in 22 where it remained the same, and then we did an extension in 23 where it remained the same. But then on May 28th of this year, she signed an amendment extending to the end of the year and $850 a month.
When was the last time she had a zero balance?
Oh, it would have been in actually early 22. Or no, pardon me. Actually, early 23. EOAC provided a $5,000 payment to her on 9/20/2021.
Okay.
And so that paid for a number of months. And so it paid into January. She was in arrears prior to that, but she did not make and did not need to make a payment on 10/1. But then we added some more, and she required it in I believe late January. I'd have to pull it up. That's over a year and a half ago, but she's been in arrears since early 23.
Okay. Let's hear from the defendant. Ms. McVeigh, you've heard the case against you so far. Here's your opportunity to defend yourself.
Okay, Your Honor. I have been there for a while. Mr. Bill has worked with me over the last few years. He knows everything. I don't hide nothing from him. I get talked crazy too, talked about right in front of my face. He's very disrespectful. And I'm not being mean or ugly. I love them to death, and I love him for tolerating me for 6 years. Okay, my air went out a few months ago in the summer months. As you recall, the heat index was 130. Sir, I did not pay rent because I have an autistic child who is disabled, nonverbal, can't walk, can't talk, and we have no air. I'm begging Mr. Bill for AC unit. I had to make a payment to get one unit in a 3-bedroom house. Okay, so we'll go ahead. I have 2 toddlers, twins. They're just 2. So with that being said, I had to take my children to a hotel so they can cool off, because it's clear we couldn't stay at home. And that wasn't free for me to do that. I'm a single parent of 5. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like I wasn't not intentionally not paying my rent, but how can I pay my rent? I have no air. You're not even willing to, work with me on this. It's just all about money. But my children are suffering. And I just feel like that's not fair.
Okay.
I just had a death in the family. I told them about that. I just took them $1,100. We make verbal agreements. Everybody rent went up. My next door neighbor rent is still $750, and she's been there for 9 years. Why did my rent go up? I can't even tell you. I honestly didn't even know what I was signing, but that's another story. It is what it is because it's on paperwork. I just don't even understand why it went up, and I'm the only one that it went up on. And so, I'm just asking just to give me and my children time to get out. It's no air still. And that's fine. I don't mind leaving. I get a 3-day eviction letter every month. This is not the first one. He still works with me.
When did you initially notify Mr. Goring in regard to the air conditioning unit? What day? Was it June? Was it May? Was it August? When was it?
What was your question, Your Honor?
When did you initially notify Mr. Goring about the air conditioner being
Sir, this was in June.
Okay.
May, right after Easter.
So it's May.
Right after Easter, yes, sir. I have not had air since.
So from May up
till
now, is it central air and heat or is it window unit?
It is most definitely central heat and air. I've been having central heat and air for 6 years. No problem. The air went out. He gave me 1 unit. I had to go purchase my own, and he told me he was not going to give me a second one until I made a payment. And that's exactly what happened. So my children, literally 5 children, sleep in 1 bedroom. That's how hot the house is.
You also stated that you had to pay for a hotel.
I did.
How many times did you have to pay for a hotel, and how much did you?
I had to pay for weeks. I had to pay for weeks at the hotel. We could go home when the sun go down. So we would just stay at the hotel because what was the point of going home? We would go home to get clothes at nighttime.
And this has been going on.
Feels like that right now. I'm still going through it now.
This has been hot. This is going on since May.
Yes, sir. And with the ramp, I had reached out to, my son is, he's autistic, so he gets a lot of, they get a lot of help from the state. And the state came out and built a ramp, and they're going to pick it up when I move. So that's not their property. That's something that's going to get moved to my next house eventually.
Okay, so what you're saying is that it wasn't something that the landlord purchased.
Correct. That's exactly what I'm saying.
This was another state agency that came in.
Yes, sir. And I have their information. Yes, sir. They build ramps for the needy people, the elderly, children, anyone that needs one. That's it. And they're willing to take it off of the house too.
Did Mr. Goring know that you were staying in hotels?
Mr. Goring, honestly, Judge, I'm not being disrespectful. If it's not about money or payment, nothing really matters. That's just the truth. My kids, they didn't matter. If they did, they would have had more than 1 AC unit in a 3-bedroom house. And also, Your Honor, last week, some potential buyers, I think, came out to view the house. And they had even asked me how long was the AC out themselves. They asked me when they viewed the property. They were in shock that it had been out for so long.
Okay. All right. Mr. Goring, here's your opportunity to counter anything that's been said in regards to this property.
All right. 3 things come to mind, but basically disagree with the number of statements she indicated. I don't know more from the start or backwards, but we'll go to the start. She did go ahead and call in, and here's our ledger. if you would, for repairs and call-ins. And she did call in on 5/13, and I did go out there. Was there on 5/16, and it was 77 degrees inside. And doubling, well, save that. We did go ahead. I did go ahead, go in there a number of times, and it seemed to be operational. Temperature was all right. She had her own window unit in the dining area. Then went ahead and contacted AC Group. AC Solutions went and serviced the property on June 3rd. I'd gone in prior to that. She's responsible for taking care of the property. There was an anthill built inside and alongside the AC unit that was about this tall. Rusted out, all of that. The dirt didn't help. She wasn't taking care of that. In any event, they went and took a look at it and went ahead and put a hard start on it. They did go ahead, recommend replacing. I charged us $135. They recommended replacing the AC portion because it's older refrigerant. And so they said, we really can't repair it, don't want to repair it. It's using the older refrigerant. We can repair it, but it's $8,000. Went ahead and provided Miss McVeigh an additional air conditioner and actually bought two and asked her and told her, here's one. When you make the next payment, here's another one. Well, she didn't make another payment until 2 months later. But she does have 3 window units in there. It's 1,000 square feet. Those 3 units are rated to about 18,000 BTU. So she's got air conditioning in there, has had air conditioning in there. To my knowledge, I have no knowledge of them being in the hotel. She was talking about potential buyers. They weren't in last week. They were in the week before. And in fact, we do have it under contract. And when we went in, they mentioned that, well, that's not that bad because the primary bedroom was cold with the new unit in it. It might have been in the 60s. But feel that I've provided properly, done the right thing. We've been, Conine Group Realty has been open for 40 years. I've done a lot of things over the years. I'm old. But I also was a member of the Texas Association of Realtors Property Management Committee at its inception in 2003 and served for 10 years. And we drew up all the leases, everything else, heard lawyers and all that. I feel that I've provided properly as best as I could, given the circumstances. And as I said, thereafter, she went ahead and we went ahead and put the ramp in. Thereafter, in August, or what date was it? Let me grab the piece of paper. Thereafter, she signed an extension. She could have moved. She could have moved here month to month, but then she signed an extension. When was it? Oh, what'd I do with it? There it is. On May 28th, she signed an extension while we were in the middle of it. And supposedly it was out 2 months prior. I have every belief that I've done right by the lease, provided housing.
Okay. So what you're stating is that she did put the maintenance request in May. You provided, you had technician come out, found an ant mound right there. Ants, they're attracted to vibration. And so they probably went in there and they ate away some of the components that's in there. And it's rather hard to, get that replaced. Maybe the capacitor, the contactors. That's what ants do. They're getting those contactors and they'll get them pitted out. And then if it's an older unit, it's running R22. And if in order to, replace it, you're looking at roughly right around $8,000. That's about right. That's true. And so instead of
Yes, sir.
replacing it, what you're telling me is that you did provide her with 3 window units
Yes, sir.
uh, to take care of this 1,000 square foot property. So is that your sworn testimony that you did provide her with 3 window units, and there's 3 window units in this house right now?
No, sir. As I said earlier, she had her own in the dining area. And then subsequently, I provided 2 more. 2 more new units.
Okay, she had her own.
She had 3 total.
Okay.
Yeah, she had
Okay.
one.
She
Because
had
she
one.
always liked to keep it cool.
Okay.
And when I initially investigated it, the inside thermometer said it was 77 degrees. Things were blowing. But yes, sir. Yeah, by and large, I think you understand.
But
Yes.
you did provide 2.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in total, there's 3 window units inside of this 1,000 square foot property.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Can
So
I speak, Your Honor?
I'll give you one final opportunity to speak. I wish
Okay.
that I had some further proof with regards to the air conditioning units, because it's
I bought it from the pawn shop. I can go get it. I can really get a proof for my air conditioner units.
okay. But
I,
Miss McVeigh, I just need to ask a question. Did he provide you with
yes,
2
sir.
more window units?
Yes, he provided me with 1 in May. I just got the second one last month. So you do the math, Your Honor. I bought my own air conditioner. That does not count. I have a 3-bedroom house, 5 children. We can't even go in the living room. I did have my air conditioner that I bought out of my pocket in the window, because he would not provide me with one when my air first went out. That's not how it worked. I had to beg for one. I only got that one. Couldn't get another one until he received a large amount of pay. So that's 5 months later, I got a second one.
Okay, so you had one already that you bought. He provided you one in May, and then 5 months later he gave you another one.
I just got one last month, sir.
Okay.
The second one.
Okay. All right. Okay.
May I say something, Your Honor?
Very briefly, Mr. Gordon.
Yes, sir. I had the second unit sitting in the back room for 3 months and told her she's welcome to have it if she could make an additional payment of some sort, and did nothing. And at the time, she said, well, I can go get another one. But it's been sitting back there for over 3 months.
Okay. What we're going to do next, I'm going to take a brief recess. I'm going to put both of you back in the breakout room, in the waiting room, and I'll be back with the judge. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
The court's now back in session.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So I went through everything that was filed with the court, and I did some calculations with regards to rent that was paid all the way up to the time that the maintenance request was made. That was in May. Statutorily, as the property code reads, chapter 92, if the tenant is up to date on their rent at the time that a maintenance request is made, and if the condition of the premises materially affects the health and safety of the tenant, then the landlord has a duty to repair or remedy. But the key word, the tenant has to be up to date on their rent. That's the key. Based on my calculations, Ms. McVeigh, you were not up to date on your rent at the time that you made the maintenance request in May. Therefore, your argument that you should receive some sort of concessions for the air conditioning unit not working properly is considered invalid.
Also, I had to clear Aunt Paul. I don't know.
So what I'm saying, this is what I'm saying. The way the property code reads, if you the tenant, if your rent was up to date, whenever you placed that maintenance request in May, then and if he did not repair the air conditioner like he was supposed to, then I could have gave you some credit towards your rent today. That's pretty much long story short. Now I could have, deducted money that you were supposed to pay him from May up until now. But based on the ledger that he provided to me, you were delinquent in rent. Your rent was not paid up in full at the time you made the request. So I want to make sure that you understand that I heard you, but I cannot exercise any judicial remedies in your case, meaning I cannot give you any credit for the hotel stays and for anything else that happened during that time frame. Now, with that being said, you did state you purchased your own window unit. I'll give you that. I'll give you credit towards the purchase of your window unit. All right. On average, your window unit costs right around $500. You got it from the pawn shop. There's no receipt. I'm just going to say on average, a window unit is going to run about $500. Okay. So I will give you credit towards that. Okay. At the time that this case was filed, Mr. Goring stated that you owed for June, July, August, and September, and that the amount that you owed him was $2,870. Again, I'm going to give you credit for the $500 that I'm estimating you paid for a window unit.
What about my $1,100 that I just paid though? I just made a $1,100 payment last month. So do you have that?
That's not correct, Your Honor. She paid $895, promised to come in. That would have been, I want to say, 29th. Promised to come in with another $100. She's going to pay $1,000 a month. She got that window unit. She paid $895, and that was actually a check from EOAC.
I do not. The last payment I have for you, ma'am, is, according to this ledger, is on September 12th of 2024, and that is $100.
No, that's not correct, and my mom is right.
That is correct. That is correct. She called me up and she said she had a payment for me and meet her at her house, and I went and I waited, and then she gave me $100. And I said,
that is correct.
Okay, well, you didn't appreciate it wasn't correct, but that's what happened.
I gave you $100, but
ma'am.
Okay, hold on.
Because I don't want to argue with him.
Listen. Yeah. You said you paid him $1,100.
I just paid him at the end of the month. My mom and my aunt went inside with me. I just made a payment for a $900 money order. Not $895, not $845. It was $900. Okay, and then I gave him an extra $100. So that is correct. It was an extra $100. So basically $1,000.
So you paid $900 on September 12th, and then later on
I paid $900 at the beginning of the new month. At the end of August, like August 30th.
I have according to his ledger, he's showing that a payment of $900 is made on August 12th, August 20th.
That's not even correct. But okay. I don't want to.
I just you know what I'm saying. August 20th, he said you made a payment of $900, and then on September 12th, you made a payment of $100. Sir,
the calculations is going to be off.
Okay, so anyway, I'll tell you what. Hey,
I barely get receipts, so I don't know.
So what you're saying is that you should have credit for an additional $1,000.
I should. Okay. For sure. I have. All right. I have witnesses that went inside.
I'll tell you what. Look, I'm just going to do it like this. I'm going to deduct $1,500 from the amount that he's indicating that you.
Your Honor, may I interrupt?
All right, Mr. Gorey, hold on. Let's just, I need to close this case out. All right. The amount that he alleged that you owe was $28.70. I'm going
Yes,
to give you credit for $1,500 from the $28.70. That leaves $13.70.
yes, sir.
Your Honor, I appreciate your work on this. That's not accurate, but thank you.
I'm just trying to close this case out. Okay.
So
I
what do I
appreciate
do,
it.
Your Honor? Because I'm really just gonna just move.
Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna
Okay.
finish the judgment.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. I don't truly expect to get those funds anyhow, but thank you.
That's exactly what I go through.
So there's gonna be a judgment against you for $1,370 plus the court cost of $144. That's gonna be
Okay, that's fine.
added to the $13.70. Now, with that being said, you have the right to appeal my decision. I have to tell you this first. Appealing
Okay.
my decision means you disagree with my decision for ruling in favor for Mr. Goring and against you. But in order for you to appeal, you would have to post an appeals bond of $1,700. That's if you want to appeal. If you cannot afford the appeal bond and you still want your case heard by another judge, then you can contact someone from Lone Star Legal Aid. Now, there's a deadline for you to appeal this case. You statutorily, today being Thursday, the 3rd, you have 6 days from today's date, 7 days from today's date to appeal. That's including weekends. 6. You have 6 days from today's date. I'm sorry, 6. 6 days from today's date to appeal my decision.
So the 14th or the 13th? I'm
No,
trying to see.
6 days from
Today's the 2nd.
Today's the 3rd. Today's the 3rd.
Oh, yeah,
You
today's the
have
3rd.
6 days from today. That's the last date that you can appeal. All right.
So October 9th is what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Now, if you do not appeal, the only other 2 options that are out there is if you move out by that date.
I'm going to. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
I want to make sure that that's clear because
So,
if
who do I make a payment to?
just, I'll tell you that if you do appeal, everything goes to me. All right, starting out. But if you choose to move out on or before that day, you need to make sure that Mr. Goring knows that you've moved out. You put it in writing that you've moved out, and you give him the keys. But by that date, okay. Now,
yes.
In regards to the amount of money that you owe him, that is going to be between you and Mr. Goring after today. When you pay him, how you pay him is going to be between y'all. The only thing that I can encourage you to do is make sure you have good records of the payments that are made. And
yes, sir.
You satisfied the judgment amount. And at that time, you can get a release of judgment from him. That way you can keep that a part of your records whenever you do apply for someone else. All right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Judgment in favor of the plaintiff. Court adjourned.
Thank you, Judge.
Your involvement in a dispute with another party such as this, and you just can't seem to work it out, don't resort to taking the law into your own hands.
We'll hear the litigants' reaction after these messages.
All right, thank you very much. Officer Bell's waiting for you, and that will bring this case to a conclusion.